Hi, it's Karen from Snowball to Pink here. Thank you for joining me. Today I thought we would paint some whimsies. So, excuse me. I'll put everything I use in the description below, and we're just going to do some really nice, intuitive, very free whimsy trees. So, first of all, I'm just going to put some really easy shapes. They can be whatever shapes you like. No, I'll just tuck another one in there. Okay, and then just activate your paints and just block your just block your shapes in with your watercolour. Now I haven't pre-wet my paper because I'm using wet on dry technique today, only because it's it will take longer to dry, and I kind of want to show you what I'm doing. So I'm going to kind of lay down some different colours and work on another one while this one's dry, so I can show you the whole of the techniques. Now I've gone over my pencil lines, you know, I'm really not worried about that at all. Okay, I just want to get this paint on my shapes. Now if my paint does run into the neighbour next door, into the shape next door to it, I'm really not worried about that, not at all. We're being really lovely and fluid and spontaneous. We're not getting caught up on making exact marks. We're just laying our paint down and just seeing where it takes us, really. Now you can use whatever colour combination you like. I've kind of gone for warmer colours today. I don't really know why I've gone for these colours. I just think it's because it's so grey here today. It's really not a nice day. It's been overcast for most of the day here, but you know, it is January, isn't it? So I'm just going to mix it up a bit, and I'm using my watercolour straight from the pan. I'm not colour mixing. I'm just popping these shapes in. Okay. Well, if you think I don't like that bleeding in there, you can take it out. If you do, I'm using my paper towel because I just want to put a little bit of texture in my painting, just to make it a little bit more interesting. Okay, so I'm just going to set that one aside. Here's one that I've done earlier, so to speak, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drop like a glaze over the top of this, because this is fully dry now, and these colours that I used previously kind of seem to be in the same colour palette, and I really think I need to make it a little bit more interesting. It kind of looks a bit samey if if you know, if you can get what I mean. I just wanted it to be a little bit more interesting. It just kind of seemed a bit flat, so that seems a bit better. And I'm going to drop a bit of green in here. Why not? Let's see. Let's explore and see what we get. And this glazing technique is quite good fun, actually. Sometimes you'll be pleased and sometimes you won't. It's just a case of just popping it on and just having a look. Now I quite like the way that one's this glaze is going, so yep, I quite like that. So I think I'm going to put a different colour glaze on this one and see how we go with this. Not working as well, so I'm going to change it up and I'm going to drop some blue in and just see how the blue responds, and see what we get. We might be pleased and we might think, oh, shouldn't have done that. But yeah, I think this one's going to be, I think the blue is working quite nicely. So yeah, I'm going to go with that and just offer that in. And as you can see, because we're glazing on top now, we're getting some different colour values and different shades. Gives us a really nice shading, which I think works really well. I'm going to try and put a yellow on there. Now this looks like it's a little bit too opaque, but we'll carry on and we'll just bleed that round. If you can hear some movement in the background, it's my two Cocker Spaniels. They're moving about, so forgive me, they're moving about. So I'm going to bring the other one back and I'm going to just put another glaze on top of this again, and I'm not going to go over it all. I'm just going to make it a little bit more interesting by putting the paper towel on. That gives a quite nice feel. Just gonna into lemon yellow on this one, just to see how this changes up. Yeah, that's quite nice. Quite like that one. And then gone into a darker blue. Not keen on that one. It's kind of a bit I don't know, I just didn't really like that colour too much. Let's try a green. Let's see how we get on. This is the beauty about when you're doing these whimsy shapes. There are no hard and fast rules, and we can do whatever suits us at the time. And this is a great place to explore colour and see what sits nicely together and see what doesn't really. Now if you want to get your paper towel and just blot a little bit of that out, absolutely. Gives you quite a nice effect. So I quite like that. And we just go in and we just give this a little bit of a glaze here. Okay. Right, now we set that one aside. Now I'm hoping this is going to be, it's not quite dry enough at the moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just do another random, you know, these lovely kind of tree shapes, and just do the interlocking. Okay. Again, where I think on this one, let's do all blues. Let's see how the blue shades work out. That would be quite good. So again, we're just blocking in everything again. Let your paint run out on your brush. This will help with your values. I hope you've all been well and had a good new year, start to the new year, and the weather's been kind to you wherever you are. We've had quite cold weather, and it's the long range weather forecast is saying now that it's looking like we're going to be getting some snow. So sometimes we do in our neck of the woods, and sometimes we don't. So it'll be interesting to see how we fare. But I hope wherever you are that it's been kind to you, and it hasn't been, you've been able to get about, because I know some of you out in the States and Canada, and you get hit really heavily with snow. I can't imagine what that must be like to get about. It's but maybe you guys are geared up for it, where us in the UK we kind of we're not really. We just our climate tends to be very rainy and grey, and it's true, we are fixated on the weather here in the UK. It's the first thing we speak to each other about, really. Oh, how's the weather been, you and that kind of thing. But yeah, on the whole, it's not been too bad, and I hope you've all been in good health. I think that that blue tone, I think it's not too bad. I think what I'm going to do is I've got in my palette I've kind of got a hybrid colour of a it's kind of a bluey grey, really, and I'm just dropping in this very light wash just to ground them. Okay, so yeah, that's I'll put that to dry over there. Let's see how we're getting on here. Which one's drier for us to work on? I'm going to try this one. Now, I'm going to be using my size 2 Nicpro round brush, because I want to get some fine lines, well, finer lines, and I just dab off, and then all I'm doing, hopefully I'm in frame for you, and then all I'm doing is just running my brush, and we're just having these tree-like branches. Okay, so again, we just make sure, blotting out with your paper towel, making sure that your paint is nice and creamy. You don't want it too watery. You want to be able to cover a little bit of you want to be able to cover your cover on your main colour, on your main block tree shapes. Now you can go with whatever things that you like, really. I'm just kind of thinking, yeah, let's just to make it. And then if you want to do on the big one, you can do these interesting tree branch shapes. Whatever you feel is that you'd like to do. You know, it's not written in stone. You can do whatever you takes your fancy, really. Like that. Now I'm giving this a good thorough mix, clean with my water to ensure that I do get a really nice, a very, very nice clean base to work on. Now I'm going in with some yellow, and I'm just going to make some little dots. Now these are really nice, fun whimsies, and it's really nice to use this kind of technique because it gets us into the mood of painting, and we don't want to be too tense and too uptight. We just want to have fun with our paintings, don't we? So what I'm going to do is we can do some leaf shapes on there. That's what. Don't forget to let your paint run out on your brush. It really will help you with your values of the colour of your paint. Okay, and you can put as many as leaves as in your painting as you want. I think we're going in and we'll have some nice happy colours, don't we? So I'm just gonna again go in. Now, as you can see in this one wasn't as dry as it could have been, so it started to bleed, but I'm not worried about that at all. I've got a really bright yellow, and I think I'm just going to using the brush, okay, on each. Can you see okay? And just imprinting the shape of the brush. Okay, onto your watercolour paper. And just work your way through your painting. There's that one. I'm almost tempted to leave that one as is, really, because it kind of lends itself to being left. I think I'm just going to just give them a stem or a trunk, we should say, shouldn't we? Just grounds it a little bit more for you. Now, if you want to, I would advise you to let your watercolour dry completely, and you can go over it with some pen, but mine's still damp, so it's not picking up as well as I'd like, but yeah, so there's that one. Let's go back and see how the blue one's doing. Yeah, shall we try the blue one? Just put that one out, or shall we try? That's still really quite damp. So let's try the blue one now, and I'm just going into, let's see, maybe indigo blue would be quite nice. And again, let's just make some nice marks. And I think it is quite nice to keep maybe the tonal values in the colour family. That makes it look quite nice, doesn't it? But have a play around with when you get your paints out, and just see how you feel with your paints, for how you feel that you'd like to, because it is kind of like a doodly thing, really, isn't it, that we're doing? We're not being precious with this, thinking we've got to make this absolutely perfect. It's just responding to the marks that we've put down before, and I think that's important, especially if you had a break from painting. That's always important, I think. And these are our whimsy trees, so there's nothing like this in nature, but hey. Kind of looks like one of those Russian dolls, doesn't it, that all fit into each other. Now I'm going to contrast this, I think, and I think I am going to use, well, maybe not. Let's keep it in the family, and I'm just going to put some little leaf shapes in there, and just dot them around. on your branches. Again, not being ultra precious with this. Okay. Let me just put some little, I think in this one I will put some orange leaves, or leaf shapes. And remember, if there's something that you don't like that you've put down, you can just go over it. That's absolutely fine, because these little whimsies are very forgiving. Okay? And I'm just going to put some fun yellow. And I think I'll just dot some little I think I will just take these down. Just gives them some legs to stand on. Well, there we have it. Just lean across to you. There's two little whimsy tree fun exercises, just to get you nice and relaxed, so when you start painting again. I hope you give this a go. It's really fun and easy, and you don't have to think about it too much. So that's really great to get us started again. Anyway, it's been great spending some time with you. Hope to see you again soon. Take care and have a good week. Bye.